Hello everyone, Shadefyre here, and today I'm going to be taking a first impressions look at Halo 2 Anniversary, which is part of the Master Chief Collection on PC. Now that basically all of the Halo games are available on PC, except Halo 5, but who cares about Halo 5? I've been in a bit of a Halo mood lately. I just replayed through the first Anniversary, which is also kinda 343 did a kind of okay job at remastering it, but there is definitely I'd say a 60-40 split of stuff that looks good in the new graphics versus stuff that looks bad. And like most of the character models, they look bad. But a lot of the environmental details they added to levels that were otherwise kind of flat look good. And they did, Halo 2 Anniversary as well, so I'm not expecting that this is going to look great. But I thought I'd give it a go. I've been in a very Halo mood lately, probably because of Halo Infinite, even though I'm not actually interested in Halo Infinite. And since I've been buying each of these as they came out, each of these, because they're basically like DLCs that slot into Master Chief Collection, which you get as soon as you buy one of them. I've been buying them as they come out, but not actually playing them. I used to be a very big Halo fan, like up until Halo 4, and then Halo 4 came out, and I was kind of lukewarm on it. It was alright. I'll probably end up playing it again as I'm going through these, but before I start with Halo 2 Anniversary, I want to do a first impression, since I've never actually seen what this looks like, and have not played Halo 2 for a very long time. I've played Halo 1 more recently, even before the Anniversary. I might be doing an LP with one of the Halo games soon to introduce it to people who have not had any interest in the series otherwise. Alright, so I guess we'll just do quick start because we're starting from the beginning. So we're going to go Heroic, which is, for me, like the main difficulty to play on. This is kind of the one the game is balanced around, with Legendary being harder than that, and Normal being balanced to be easier, and then easy is like, why even play it? Also, this is very much the middle game in a trilogy, like it feels like it, so for people who don't know Halo at all, this is going to be kind of like, what's going on here?
I do not trust you. He may, but I do not.
Noted.
My friend's trust is not the issue today, Spartan Locke. It is my trust you must earn.
Arbiter?
You are a hunter, yes. A seeker of things.
That's not the official job title, but it's close enough.
And now you hunt other Spartans.
I'm not so much hunting a Spartan as I'm hunting the Spartan.
You seek.
117.
I was not told the identity of your prey.
That is why I'm sharing it with you.
I should mention that this cutscene is not from Halo 2 at all. This is, I guess, 343 inserting their fanfic into older games.
Was that an insult or a compliment?
An insult, to be sure, but one with a modicum of respect. He was indeed my enemy, but in time, I named him ally, even friend. The events which forged this bond were complicated.
Like, I legitimately have no idea who Locke is. I assume that's from Halo 5. So they put that in there just to tie into their games. Because, after Halo Reach, Bungie let go of the series and left Microsoft's umbrella to make Destiny. This is where the cutscene actually is supposed to start.
There was only one chip.
One? Are you sure?
Yes. They called it the Pillar of Autumn.
Why was it not destroyed with the rest of their fleet?
It fled as we set fire to their planet. But I followed with all the ships in my command.
When you first saw Halo, were you blinded by its majesty?
Blinded?
Paralyzed? Dumbstruck?
No.
Yet the humans were able to evade your ships, land on the sacred ring, and desecrate it with their filthy footsteps.
Noble hierarchs, surely you understand that once the parasite attacked...
There will be order in this council.
You were right to focus your attention on the Flood. But this demon, this Master Chief...
By the time I learned the demon's intent, there was nothing I could do.
He's a traitor!
Noble Prophet of Truth, this has gone on long enough. Make an example of this bungler. The Council demands it.
You are one of our most treasured instruments. Long have you led your fleet with honor and distinction. But your inability to safeguard Halo was a colossal failure.
It was heresy.
I will continue my campaign against the humans.
No, you will not.
I can't tell if they changed voice actors,
But when it does,
or if they just became more recognizable to me now than when I first played this.
and you shall be left behind.
It's like I recognize most of these Prophet voice actors. So that was essentially just an elite getting the blame for the events of the first game. And now, back at Earth,
The plating was about to fail. There's viscosity throughout the gel layer. Optics, totally fried. And let's not even talk about the power supply. You know how expensive this gear is, son?
Tell that to the Covenant.
so I think we'll probably play through this first level and maybe a little bit of the second one. But I played a lot of Halo 2 back in the day. Like, this is, just like the first game, one that I played through the campaign a dozen times or
Well,
more.
I guess it was all obsolete anyway. Your new suit's a Mark 6, just came up from Songnam this morning. Try and take it easy until you get used to the upgrades. Okay, let's test your targeting first thing. Please look at the top light. Good. Now
Yeah, look at the bottom light.
All
All
right.
right.
Look at the
Look at
top, light again. That's it. Now the bottom one.
I remember this.
Everything checks out. Stand by.
Also, in the
I'm gonna
first game,
offline the inhibitors.
You get to skip the
Move around a
tutorial,
little. Get a feel for it.
if you
When
pick
you're ready,
heroic.
come meet me by the zapper.
but here you have to do the tutorial. And they say that an upgrade to your suit is the reason why it looks different in this, you know, because they gave it a bit of a redesign. It looks a little less simple than it did in the first game.
Hey, take it easy.
Stop running around, you don't know what you're doing yet.
Pay attention, because I'm only going over this once. This station will test your recharging energy shields. Your new armor shields are extremely resilient, very efficient. Bingo! As you can see, they recharge a lot faster. If your shields go down, find some cover, wait for the meter to read fully charged.
That, or he can hide behind me. You done with my boy here, Master Guns? I don't see any training wheels.
So this is what it looked like
His armor's
originally,
working fine, Johnson.
more or
Free
less.
to go, son. Just remember, take things slow.
Don't worry, I'll hold his hand.
I do think having, you know, kind of play through Halo 1 just before this, and switching between the old and new graphics, I think
Come on,
that
Chief.
Halo
They're ready
1
for us on the bridge.
has a distinct look that Halo 2 lacks. Halo 2 has like that
Get on the
general
lift, Chief. We're gonna be late.
ugly, fake shiny look to the textures that a lot of games had at this period. But Halo 1 has this much more interesting kind of metallic, like actually metallic look to a lot of the surfaces. And I don't know why they decided to step away from that for this.
So, Johnson, when you gonna tell me how you made it back home in one piece?
Sorry, Guns. It's classified.
My ass! Well, you can forget about those adjustments to your A2s.
Well, he's in a particularly fine mood. Maybe Lord Hood didn't give him an invitation.
It's funny how they have that one line in there to retcon how Johnson here went from generic Marine that you see a dozen times, like a Half-Life security guard in the first game, to, hey, he actually survived the flood and now he's totally fine.
Haven't seen it in years.
But Johnson also got, like, multiple retcons throughout the series, from what I remember.
Out for basic. The orbital defense grid was all theory and politics. Now look.
I think there actually is subtitles, which the original games didn't have. Probably an audio. Subtitles? Nope. Let's play the where is the subtitles option going to show up. I know there is them because I've seen people playing the first game with subtitles. I don't know where the fuck it is. It wouldn't be in controls. Accessibility, I guess? Yeah. On.
The Cairo is just one of 300 geosync platforms. That Mac gun can put a round clean through a Covenant capital ship.
Yeah, so this whole platform we're on right now is just a giant railgun.
Coordinated fire from the Athens and the Malta. Nothing's getting past this battle cluster in one piece.
A Magnetic Accelerator Cannon, which is humanity's main weapon system in this setting.
Ships have been arriving all morning. Nobody's saying much, but I'll bet something big's about to happen.
See, look how flat it looks in the original. What I was going to say is, so Halo 1, the PC port was kind of bad because it was missing a lot of graphical effects from the original game. Because it was done by Gearbox, and I guess they weren't actually given all of the resources, so some of that stuff is just flat out missing from the port. I don't know if the Halo 2 PC port had a similar problem. I don't even know who ported it. I just know it was also not a very good port. Okay, so now the actual first level, not the tutorial.
You told me there wouldn't be any cameras.
And you told me you were gonna wear something nice. Folks need heroes, Chief, to give them hope. So smile, would ya? Well, we still got something to smile about.
To be fair, I don't think anyone would recognize him without his armor. They'd be like, who's that tall guy? And Spartans are kind of gross looking without their armor because they're all full of cybernetic implants. The only beauty in that meat they call a body.
Drawn quite a crowd. If they came to hear me beg, they will be disappointed. Are you sure?
It was a pretty funny change going from the first game where the elites don't actually speak English at all. They just say like things like wart, to here where
we're lucky to have you back.
You have Keith David as the Arbiter.
Go ahead, Cortana.
Another whisper, sir, near Io. We have probes en route.
I apologize, but we're going to have to make this quick.
You look nice.
Thank you.
Sergeant Major, the Colonial Cross is awarded for acts of singular daring and devotion. For a soldier of the United Earth Space Corps.
There can be no greater heresy. Let him be an example for all who would break our covenant.
Commander Miranda Keyes, your father's actions were in keeping with the highest traditions of military service. His bravery in the face of impossible odds reflects great credit upon himself and the UNSC. The Navy has lost one of its best.
I can't tell if Miranda looks considerably different or if it's just the hat. Okay, I was about to say it's disappointing you can't switch the cutscenes, but apparently you can in this one. But they don't line up because some of them are longer.
Slip space ruptures directly off our battle cluster.
Show me.
15 Covenant capital ships holding position just outside the kill zone.
This is Fleet Admiral Harper. We are engaging the enemy.
Negative, Admiral. Form a defensive perimeter around the cluster. Commander, get to your ship. Link up with the fleet.
Yes, sir.
You have the Mac gun, Cortana. As soon as they come in range, open up.
Gladly.
Something's not right. The fleet that destroyed Reach was 50 times this size.
Sir, additional contacts. Boarding craft and lots of them.
They're going to try to take our Mac guns offline. Give their capital ships a straight shot at Earth. Master Chief, defend this station.
Yes, sir. I need a weapon.
Right this way.
So this is a big deal because up to this point, the Covenant had no idea where Earth is, and they have this entire policy of anytime they encounter Covenant, they have to jettison their navigation data so that the Covenant can't find Earth. So this is like a big deal that, oh, they just showed up anyway.
Better late than never, sir.
All hands.
Whose hat is this? Is this Johnson's hat? Did he drop? I feel like I remember there being a skull around here somewhere. Skulls are basically just cheats that you have to find in the levels first.
I repeat, this is not
a
drill.
Oh yeah, so they want you to use the SMG because this is where they added dual wielding. But the SMGs are kind of dog shit, even when you dual wield them. Battle rifle is a much better addition. I gotta remember what my controls are.
How's it going, Malta? Stand by. They're latched.
Pistol, which is also garbage.
Watch the crossfire. They're in standard formation. Little bastards up front, big ones in back.
It went from kind of overpowered in the first game to just like super nerfed in this one. Alright, I gotta remember how to play. I mean, I did just play through the first game, so I kind of still have most of it in mind.
Feel the fire on that bulkhead. As soon as that door opens, let them have it.
Open weapon block.
I will say that one area where I think that the Anniversary Edition in the first game actually did well is improving the audio on weapons. A lot of them sound way punchier in the Anniversary versions than the original. I mean, even here you can see the battle rifle's a lot bassier. The SMG's a little less dog shit when you use the plasma rifle with it because you can knock out the shields with this.
Orders of Habitat Alpha.
Another contact!
I need a squad at Habitat Alpha ASAP.
That's all you got? Come on.
This is a little confusing because
We'll hold here.
the mouse button to fire is the opposite of the hand you're holding the gun in. You know, the right-hand gun is still considered your primary fire, so it's the one that fires on left click.
Seal pressure doors.
Also, Michelle Rodriguez is one of the Marines. You can hear her there a couple times. This is definitely the game where they tried to, like, budget it up, which is why there's, like, licensed music that plays at random parts. There's the ridiculous part where Breaking Benjamin just kicks in the middle of a fight. Also, another criticism of the first Anniversary Edition was it was really hard to tell if you were popping an elite's shields. There was almost no like graphical effect for it, whereas here they seem to have fixed that as well by making it much more noticeable when you pop their shield. Because in the original game, the original Halo, it was very easy to tell when you broke a shield.
For impact.
I recognize that voice too. I guess they got a lot of celebrity voice actors when this game came out. I mean, even Admiral Hood is, oh jeez, his name's not coming to mind right now. But you recognize his raspy voice.
Terminal 1.
Also, elites feel a little easier to kill in this than in the first game. But then these are blue elites, so they're the lowest rank and have the weakest shields.
Security Station 4 is under attack. Brace for impact.
Also, this is where they made the change from having an actual health system to just having a regenerating shield, and then if you take a couple hits when your shield's down, you just die. You don't have to find any health packs or anything. Which is good in that you never end up like, oh, I checkpointed with 1 health at a part where there are no health packs. Presumably that's why they explained it away by just your shield is way stronger now in that cutscene at the start.
Attention. We have boarded Section 3.
I think the Marines were also decently more competent in this than in the original.
Fire team,
oops.
Terminal 1.
Thought you were an elite. Sorry, man. It would be awkward in the after-action report to explain the casualties that had bullet holes in their backs. But we don't have to worry about that, because the station's not going to be around much longer. Doesn't look too much different. This is also where they added ragdoll physics to enemies. Because of course they did. It was a, you know, mid-2000s game. Battle rifle's so good.
Alert. We have hostiles on the command deck.
Okay, here's a bunch of grenades.
That face looks like a squid out the air.
There's so many grenades on the ground there. Hey, how's it going? Just hanging out now?
Check it out. The Malta's already driven off its borders.
Malta, what is your status? Over.
I don't believe it! They're retreating! We won!
This is bad. Real bad.
I thought that was a grunt.
Check yourself.
I do have a flashlight, however.
All hands, brace for impact.
Did this guy kill the other elite? I guess so. I'm still out of ammo for the battle rifle. That plasma rifle. There we go. This was before you could pick up the turrets and just walk around with them.
Hostiles have reached the port match area.
I'm honestly curious if I'm going to end up remembering where any of the skulls are. Because I assume they're all in the same places. Also, I don't think grenades set off other grenades in this like they do in the first game. I can't remember. Fuck. One more melee would have got him. Also, the music is very, like, floaty here. Like, it's not really anything. If you melee them in the back, it's an instant kill.
Sir, I could really use your help.
Okay, that's 3 elites. 3 elites is too many elites. Especially with just the SMG.
Jerk!
Alert. Hostiles have report Mac Bay.
There's still one more elite behind that crate. Not sure why all the corpses are wiggling. Try to be a sneaky bitch.
Uh-oh. Hey, they're leaving the Athens.
Oh, there goes the Athens.
Cortana, assessment.
That explosion came from inside the Athens. Same as the Malta. The Covenant must have brought something with them. A bomb.
And they sure as hell brought one here. Chief, find it.
All non-combat.
I don't actually remember how to get out of this bay. Okay, this door open.
All hands, the pressure zone.
Grunts tend to retreat if you kill the elite closest to them.
All non-combat personnel report to evacuation station.
I don't remember if there's any other better weapons in this. They flat out removed the assault rifle from the original game, which didn't come back until Halo 3. Because people didn't like the assault rifle. It wasn't very good. I like it, but it's not great. Oh, these are camo elites. Yeah, see that texture right there? This is what I mean by like ugly, flat, fake metallic that was very popular in the mid-2000s. It looks like an Unreal Engine game, but it's not, as far as I remember. Uh-oh. I don't know how that didn't crush me. Ooh, shotgun. I don't remember there being a shotgun here. Halo has always had good shotguns. I don't think it has any bad ones. except in Halo 4 they added like a laser shotgun, which is only kind of okay. But there's also still a regular shotgun in that. Though this one also has a dual-wieldable shotgun that is pretty bad. But the regular shotgun rips, especially in multiplayer.
Hang on, everyone.
Where did that elite just go? It's usually on elites, it's usually a 2-shot kill. One to take out their shield and one to take them out. But on unshielded enemies, it's usually a 1-shot.
Hang on, everyone.
First shot didn't even take out his shield.
I need a squad at Habitat Delta.
I should have followed that up with a punch. Since that is the 2-step shotgun tactic. You know, honestly, despite a lot of people liking Reach, I really didn't like it very much. I mean, I didn't hate it or anything, I just mean it didn't stick with me. I played through it once, the campaign, and I think I played through it a second time with a friend. But I basically didn't play any of the multiplayer. Because I think the DMR just kind of made the multiplayer not particularly fun, especially since most of the time people start with the DMR. I played more of Halo 4's multiplayer than Halo Reach's. Which has to say something. I think I just stuck myself, yep. Walked right into that plasma grenade, it stuck to my face.
Hang on, everyone.
Wow, really? Plasma grenade stuck to his face, didn't kill him? That's basically a guaranteed kill in the first game.
Hang on, everyone.
The shotgun range is definitely worse in this than the first game, though.
I need a squad at Habitat Delta.
Also, another point against these, well, this isn't against the Anniversary specifically, but against the Master Chief Collection. They replaced all of the game HUDs with this, like, ugly simplified one that you can see at the top. And even if you switch to the old versions, it still uses the new HUD. See, that killed him.
I need a squad at Habitat Delta.
I don't know why the first one didn't. Okay, there's another grunt up there. It's gonna take over the turret.
All personnel, prepare to abandon the base.
Mostly the shotgun is best as a jump scare weapon in multiplayer. You pop out around a corner and insta-kill somebody. Though I do also love the blunderbuss from Cursed Halo. I think if I do a playthrough of the first game, I will also do like a bonus playthrough attached to it of Cursed Halo, which is just a great mod. Okay, I think we're almost done here.
Come on, Chief, this way.
This is also the first time you could...
Don't worry, ma'am. We're on it.
Okay, there's Miranda Keys. So this is what she originally looks like. I guess she looks kind of the same. Stay still. Ma'am, hold still. I need to examine you. That's just a really dumb captain's hat. But the Navy loves its old-ass traditions and their ugly outfits.
Come on, Chief, this way.
Almost on board when they show up.
Don't worry, man. We're on it.
If I remember correctly, the skull in this level is actually outside somewhere. I feel like it's on top of one of these. The level in Doom Eternal where you're on the BFG 10,000 reminds me a lot of this level. I guess just because you're on a space station that's weaponized.
Alert. Border. Port drive out.
Authorized personnel only. Oh, yeah, this is the outdoor area. And since the Mjolnir is an airtight suit, we can just walk out into the vacuum with no concern. So yeah, I think there's a skull out here somewhere. It's like around there, maybe? A lot of hidden stuff requires grenade jumping. A nice thing now is that you can actually just activate the skulls before you go into a level. Originally, when you played Halo 2, if you wanted to use the skulls,
have reached the fire control center.
you had to load up the level.
Can you defuse it?
Where you
Yes,
find
I'll
it,
need the Chief's
find
help to
it,
make contact with the
and
Chief.
then quit out
get to the bomb,
and switch to the
double
level you actually want to use the skull on.
Prioritize targets and fire at will.
So the number of times I had to go get the Sputnik skull, which thankfully is near the start of one of the levels, was very high, because that's the one that makes everything much lighter, much more, you know, pushed around by things like grenades, which you use to get on top of a lot of stuff.
Flank at those cruisers. Take them out one by one. Second echelon, keep those carriers busy.
Registering all hostile vessels inside the kill zone. 13 cruisers,
Nope.
2 assault carriers.
This is the first time you see drones. These were a new enemy in Halo 2. They're pretty annoying, actually, especially on Legendary, because they just fly around, land on walls, and spam plasma pistol shots. And they're also pretty resilient considering how much they fly around.
Registering all hostile vessels inside the kill zone. 13 cruisers.
I don't know, I feel like these are nobody's favorite enemy in any of the games. Because they just get everywhere. And constantly plug your shield. And I don't think you can headshot them.
Registering all hostile vessels inside the kill
I can
zone.
find another SMG would actually be better here.
I'm going loud.
I kind of wish I hadn't switched on my battle rifle. This is it's a good spot to just take cover and chew these things up. So I feel like this is one of the enemies that this is actually really good against. I don't know if they just take extra damage from it or what, but it seems more effective than the battle rifle. I always tend to try to pick off the grunts first before going for the elites. But if you can take out an elite early in a fight, it's a good idea to do so because they are kind of the rock that holds the Covenant line. Maybe we won't get to the second level because this level's longer than I remember. Still, the second level's really good. That's where you get down onto the surface of the Earth and drive through a city. It was also the first part of the game they ever showed off, even though the initial demo ended up being quite a bit different from the final level. There's definitely some memorable levels in this game, though. Like, Delta Halo is a really good level. I'm forgetting the names of all the rest of the ones after that, but I do remember some of them being enjoyable. I know a lot of people don't like the Arbiter sections, but I think the first Arbiter level is also really good.
The carriers are breaking through, sir. They're heading straight for the Cairo.
Cortana, concentrate your fire on the first carrier. Admiral, do what you can against the second.
Everyone, form up. Follow my lead.
I feel like one shot against these guys once their shield is down should be enough to kill them because they have no more atmosphere. You know, as soon as you punch a hole in their suit.
Completely ignored us, sir. Blew through the Malta's debris field and headed straight for Earth.
Yeah, he's flying slowly backwards as I'm walking at him. He was the FPS protagonist there, just, you know, walking backwards and shooting.
The first carrier completely ignored us, sir. Blew through the Malta's debris field and headed straight for Earth.
I cannot move. I fell into a crack. Oddly, despite what I said about the metal textures, I think this stuff actually looks better than a lot of the purely metal areas in the first game, which have a lot of very just kind of plain textures. Like, specifically the Forerunner areas in the first game are just flat gray metal everywhere. I like how grenades still have gravity when you're outside like this. They still fall when you throw them, instead of just going straight forever.
Malta's debris field and headed straight for Earth.
There's one behind me.
The first carrier completely ignored us, sir. Blew through the Malta's debris field and headed straight for Earth.
That's right. Push me up right in front of this guy. Cortana, why can't I get a jetpack? Humanity has not yet evolved the technology for jetpacks, except it has.
Completely ignored us, sir. Blew through the Malta's debris field and headed
You know,
straight
Reach
for
being
Earth.
a prequel had the thrust pack. Where did this guy go? Okay, he's being a dumbass. I had to double check that I couldn't remove that. Okay, where do these two elites come from? They kind of just like drop down. Maybe not. I'm not seeing them at all this time. It's because the sneaky fucker was standing right in front of the door.
Just so you know, there are quite a few elites guarding the bomb. You may need to get creative.
Getting creative is what I'm good at. Here's my creativity at work. Creativity. And here's the Covenant's bomb.
Me, inside your head, now.
It's covered in spikes just to be, I guess, hard to remove.
How much time was left?
You don't want to know.
Cairo, this is an Amber class. I'm in position and ready for immediate assault.
Negative, Commander. Not against a ship that size. Not on your own.
Sir, permission to leave the station.
For what purpose, Master Chief?
To give the Covenant back their bomb.
Permission granted.
There's the first Halo 2 meme encounter.
I know what you're thinking, and it's crazy.
So, stay here.
Unfortunately for us both, I like crazy.
They always say don't stick your AI in crazy. But sometimes it's the best place for her.
Just one question. What if you miss?
I won't.
I mean, this plan is literally just get ejected out of the airlock and hope that you hit one of the ships on the way down. Very different cutscene. But I feel like they tried to make them way too over the top and cinematic now. Oh look, we just happened to float into the reactor. What a convenient place. Good thing this is accessible from the outside. Well, time to just conveniently land on a ship.
Rick, he flew pretty good.
Chief, get inside. Gear up. We're taking this fight to the surface.
I mean, Sergeant Rhett Conson actually is probably one of the best characters in Halo 2 and 3. Alright, that was the first level. Halo 2 is generally longer than the first game, because the first game is 10 levels, and I think this one is 12 or 13, but they're longer levels as well. Some of the first game's levels are actually pretty short, at least when you know where you're going. Anyway, we're going to wrap up here after we load into the level, but yeah, this is Halo 2. It seems like they did a better job with this than with the first Master Chief, or not Master Chief Collection, the first Halo Anniversary, but it's definitely, you know, someone else applying a coat of paint to the original team's project. Because, yeah, it was literally a case where Microsoft was like, hey, Bungie,
Just repeats.
you're the Halo studio. You make Halo. That's your purpose to exist. And they're like,
idea what it means?
we don't really want to make Halo anymore, so they left.
We regret being alien bastards. We regret coming to Earth. And we most definitely regret the Corps just blew up our raggedy-ass fleet. Hoorah!
Regret is a name, Sergeant. The name of one of the Covenant's religious leaders, a prophet. He's on that carrier, and he's calling for help. Calling for help.
Recommend mission abort.
Roger, Recon. It's your call, Sarge.
We're going in. Get tactical, Marines!
Master Chief, get aboard that carrier. Secure the Prophet of Regret. This is the only place on Earth the Covenant decided to land. That Prophet is going to tell us why. Stand by.
Whoa.
They also made a pretty big deal out of the Scarab when they first showed it off, as being just this giant enemy vehicle.
Marines! Clear the crash site! Go, go, go!
So yeah, this one takes place on Earth, which is the first time you get to see Earth or any human colony in Halo. So it's much more familiar architecture. It's a very cute little squeak. That was much less cute when I did it. Cute is not in my vocabulary. I guess there aren't any jackals in the first level. But this is also where they added jackal snipers, which are super annoying. But at least they don't have shields. Anyway, we'll probably wrap up here because that was a pretty long level, probably like an hour. Or slightly less. I don't know, I'm really bad at judging times. But I do actually, for once, have to end a video early anyway because I have plans in like 10 minutes. Looking at the clock. So yeah, I just wanted to do a little look at this, see how it kind of holds up. Because even this Halo 2 anniversary is not particularly new now. This was released as a part of the Master Chief Collection.
They didn't know we here before. They do now.
When it was released on Xbox One?
Here they come. Up high.
This is an Xbox One game, right?
I can't see.
Oh. There's Chips Dubbo. I have no idea who Chips Dubbo is, but there was an achievement where you have to fight along him, and he's just, I guess, one of the random voices of the Marines that doesn't show up very often. So yeah, I'm gonna keep playing through this, and maybe do a Halo LP project thing. It's not hard to guess which game I'm gonna be doing if I do it. But, thanks for joining me, and maybe we'll have some more Master Chief in the future, or maybe not. Never tell until I do it. Take care, y'all.